They survived the silent exile, but the real game is just beginning. After months trapped in a royal wilderness, Beatrice and Eugenie have suddenly stepped out of the shadows, and a highly calculated master plan is already in motion. Something massive is happening behind closed doors, and the clues left behind point to a reality that will change everything. You will want to stay until the very end of this video, because the final piece of this puzzle exposes a twist no one saw coming. If you love unraveling the world's most guarded secrets, hit that subscribe button and join us. We've got a lot to talk about. The royal velvet rope didn't just drop for Beatrice and Eugenie. Insiders say it was slammed shut right in their faces. For months, the sisters were entirely erased from the calendar, vanishing from major events like the high society gatherings at Cheltenham and the traditional Easter Sunday service at Windsor. According to sources, this wasn't a coincidence or a scheduling conflict. It was a calculated, silent removal from public view. While other family members glided effortlessly across the palace lawns, radiating confidence and soaking in the media spotlight, the sisters were nowhere to be found. It is claimed that a strict, unspoken directive from the very top kept them firmly on the outside looking in. The message was loud, clear, and incredibly brutal. But a hidden detail about their sudden disappearance suggests there was a much darker reason for this forced isolation. The public was led to believe they were simply taking a step back to focus on their private lives. Yet, rumors indicate a deeper panic was brewing behind closed palace doors. The family brand had become entirely radioactive, and the sisters were forced to pay the price for controversies they had absolutely no part in creating. They kept their heads down and remained fiercely loyal, hoping the storm would pass. Instead, the isolation only grew deeper, leaving them trapped in a royal no-man's land. They were completely cut off from the institution's inner workings, waiting for a signal that might never come. But just when it seemed their public lives were permanently over, a secret meeting changed everything. You cannot outrun a family legacy when the public demand for accountability turns toxic. For Beatrice and Eugenie, the ultimate betrayal wasn't what they did, but whose names they carry. Reports suggest that the heavy shadow of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and Sarah Ferguson had effectively transformed the sisters into social liabilities overnight. They became collateral damage in a high-stakes crisis management game, forced to carry the weight of a massive public backlash. Every headline surrounding their father's past associations intensified the pressure. Insiders say the palace grew deeply terrified that any public appearance by the sisters would instantly reignite the media wildfire. So, a decision was made to quietly phase them out of the spotlight. But a hidden detail about their family dynamic reveals this wasn't just about bad press. While other figures faced intense public scrutiny for launching open attacks against the monarchy, the sisters chose a completely different path. It is believed they made a pact to stay completely silent, refusing to fuel the drama. They raised their families and retreated behind closed doors, watching from afar as the institution they loved struggled to stay afloat. Yet, the silence from the palace was deafening. They were being treated like outsiders, left to wonder if they would ever be allowed to return to the life they knew. They were caught in a brutal waiting game, trapped between family loyalty and an unforgiving public. But just as the isolation reached a breaking point, a single unexpected event caught everyone entirely off guard. The sudden return was never an accident. It was a carefully staged masterclass in public manipulation. After months of complete silence, Beatrice and Eugenie suddenly stepped back into the blinding light of the high society scene. It started with a highly calculated appearance at a major milestone birthday party in London. Rumors indicate every single detail of that night, from their coordinated outfits to their flawless posture, was engineered to send a very specific message. They weren't hiding anymore. They were testing the waters, watching closely to see how the public would react to their sudden reappearance. But a closer look at their timing reveals a much more brilliant tactical move. This wasn't a flashy, controversial entrance. Instead, it was a perfectly executed soft launch. According to sources, the sisters needed to prove they could command positive attention without carrying any of the old family drama along with them. They looked polished, completely at ease, and exactly like the high-profile figures the institution desperately needs right now. The strategy worked perfectly, capturing the public's imagination and creating a massive wave of fresh curiosity. Yet, behind the scenes, critics are wondering who actually authorized this sudden comeback. Was it a rogue move by the sisters to reclaim their narrative, or was it a desperate order handed down from the very top? The answer lies within a growing crisis gripping the palace walls, where a severe shortage of leadership is forcing a massive change in strategy. The ideal plan for a highly efficient, streamlined monarchy has completely backfired, leaving the palace in total desperation. Insiders say the institution is currently stretched painfully thin, facing a severe shortage of public-facing figures, with older members carrying a heavy workload and primary leaders balancing immense personal health battles. The active lineup has reached a critical breaking point. The strategy that once sounded perfect on paper is now threatening to collapse the daily operations of the entire family. But a sudden realization behind closed doors has completely flipped the script for the frozen-out sisters. Suddenly, two highly experienced, media-trained individuals who still hold official titles look less like a liability and more like an emergency lifeline. Reports suggest that key decision-makers are quietly recognizing that the family simply cannot survive the current workload without reinforcing the front lines. The pressure is mounting daily, and options are running incredibly low. The public needs to see stable leadership, and the palace is running out of time to provide it. Whether traditionalists like it or not, the sisters possess the exact qualifications needed to fill the growing void. They have never launched public attacks on the family. They have kept their heads down, and they remain fiercely loyal. The palace is running out of options, forcing them to look at the very people they tried to hide away. But bringing them back isn't as simple as just opening the doors, because a hidden legal detail could completely ruin this desperate rescue mission before it even begins. The king may have stripped away their father's official roles, but a hidden constitutional loophole kept Beatrice and Eugenie completely safe from total erasure. Rumors indicate that despite the massive public fallout surrounding Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, a deliberate decision was made at the very top to protect the sisters' standing. They were never formally stripped of their positions, meaning they remained firmly blood royals woven directly into the institution's legal framework. This technicality was intentionally left intact, and now it is turning out to be the most critical piece of the entire puzzle. But a closer look at the palace's long-term strategy reveals an even more calculated endgame. The institution never acts on impulse. It operates with extreme patience, carefully watching how the public responds to every minor shift. Insiders say this slow-motion return is a classic testing ground before any official responsibilities are handed back. By allowing the sisters to quietly re-enter high society, decision-makers can gauge public sentiment without making a single binding commitment. It is a silent, methodical vetting process taking place right before our eyes. If the public reaction remains positive, the ultimate phase of this operation is expected to unfold during the upcoming winter season. Rumors indicate a major, highly visible appearance is already being planned to signal their complete rehabilitation. The stage is being set for a massive family gathering that will rewrite the internal dynamics of the palace forever. But as the pieces finally fall into place, a haunting question remains about who truly won this brutal game of survival. The ultimate irony of this entire royal crisis is that the family's greatest threat didn't come from the outsiders who walked away, but from the silence left behind. For years, the public watched as high-profile figures launched loud public attacks against the monarchy, dominating headlines and threatening to tear the institution apart. Yet, while the loudest voices burned their bridges, Beatrice and Eugenie played a completely different game. Reports suggest that by simply keeping their heads down and refusing to speak out, the sisters have quietly emerged as the ultimate survivors of the modern era. Their patience is finally paying off, putting them in a position of unexpected influence. But a lingering shadow remains over this sudden comeback, and the true cost of their rehabilitation is only just beginning to surface. Insiders say that fully stepping back into the light means navigating a minefield of public opinion that could shift at any moment. The palace is moving forward with extreme caution, knowing that one wrong move could undo months of careful preparation. The public is watching closer than ever, waiting to see if this new alliance will stabilize the fracturing institution or spark an entirely new wave of controversy. The long-term plan is already in motion, and the true nature of their roles will soon be impossible to hide. They have navigated the wilderness, survived the fallout, and are now standing on the precipice of a completely new chapter. But what happens next will depend entirely on a secret decision that has already been made behind closed doors. The long, icy exile in the royal wilderness is officially over, and the master plan is fully in motion. By choosing silence over scandal and loyalty over retaliation, Beatrice and Eugenie have done what many thought was completely impossible. They survived the fallout. According to sources, their quiet endurance has transformed them from social liabilities into the palace's most vital asset. But as they step firmly back into the spotlight to steady a fracturing institution, a chilling question remains. Is this a genuine second chance, or are they merely being used to shield the family from further crisis? The true cost of this ultimate royal rehabilitation is yet to be seen. But one thing is certain, the dynamics behind palace walls will never be the same again. What do you think is the real motive behind this sudden comeback? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If this deep dive kept you guessing, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter of the world's most guarded secrets. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.